Good day, everybody. Rob here on this Labor Day weekend, September 6th, and here's your Western Pacific weather update. Got a few areas out there, specifically the Tropical Storm 10 Whiskey, just in landfall to the southern end of Korea today. It's going to be screening the southern peninsula. Also got an invest down near Taiwan, but majority of the Western Pacific is actually being dominated by the West Pac High. This is even dominating the east coast of Honshu and most of Japan there, and just a few areas of CBs and some thunderstorms down along the ITCZ, especially in the Philippines and over to Vietnam here. So first thing first, we're going to break down Tropical Storm 10 Whiskey here and see where that's headed and what's going on with it. Here's the current track for 10 Whiskey. Very wobbly over the past several days. This is due to a lack of much of a steering support with the system. Overall, it's being driven, though, by the subtropical ridge located just to south Japan and a trough digging in over the Korean Peninsula. But both been relatively weak several days back, so this storm's been moving back east and west as it's been moving north. Looks like it's going to start, once it hits this trough up here, though, definitely start to follow this track right along the southern end of the Korean Peninsula. But current, though, another reason why this looks like it's switching back and forth isn't really that it is moving around too much, is that there's a lack of a center of circulation with the system. Several vortices are actually being located in the center of the system, but overall we do know that it is south of Jeju Island, which is this island right in here. That's actually part of Korea, so that area is going to be hit pretty hard. Very low populated though, so not really looking at too much damage or any casualties or anything in that area. As far as up here towards Busan, I just actually talked to some locals who went through a tropical storm, that 04 Whiskey. Took a relatively similar track with the area, and they said it wasn't too much damage, or all it was a few days of rain, so, or just one day of rain, excuse me. So we're going to actually look at this satellite imagery, the microwave imagery, and show what I'm talking about with the multiple vortices to the south of Jeju there. And microwave imagery here showing not really too much organization within the system. A lot of outflow to the south, some build up to the north, and due to that upper level trough coming in to the north as well, to the northwest, this is actually taking much of its outflow in that area. So you can see a very sharp cutoff in the build up in that area. So this is what I'm noticing though with the lack of center of circulation. No, you got an actual center right in here and another one just north. So overall, this storm is very still disorganized. It looks like it's going to max out right around 45 knots. Definitely not going to make it up typhoon strength. So good news overall for the Korean Peninsula and eventually Japan. And back to the track here. Looking out to the forecast with this system, Busan's going to be hit with the system right around the 6th to the 7th. It's going to have some precipitation down in that area, plus several other cities along the southern end of Korean Peninsula here. A lot of up near Seoul, though. Looks like they're going to be able to continue to recover from 08 Whiskey up in there. Don't look like they're actually going to get precipitation at all, especially with the western flake of the system being really chewed up by that trough coming in from the north. As far as the Tokyo and Kanto Plain, actually might get some precipitation from this system on the 9th as it moves over northern Honshu. Hopefully not too heavy, though. The Japanese Alps located along this area tend to create a rain shadow along the eastern end of them, especially around in Tokyo. So we don't actually too much precipitation, especially any significant precipitation in this area when systems comes from due west. So good news in this area overall, and overall good news with this whole system actually, because by the time it starts to make landfall, only looking around 25 knots of winds gusting up to 35 knots. So good news. The system's going to be at top tropical depression strength. Actually probably be extratropical by the time still after landfall at 25 knots. So highly likely it's just extratropical and not anything very significant. Also want to know near land, before land up in Korea, still looking right around 40 knots and gusting up to 50 knots. I know you can't see it off the screen there, but that's true. So let's look at some conditions right around the area though. Currently in Japan, still pretty hot up in here. Right around 93 degrees. Actually just did a little run outside. It felt like I was to pass out, really hot. So make sure you stay hydrated back in the States and out here in Japan when you out there. Still at the maritime atmosphere down there in Okinawa, right around 80 degrees, so real good news. Taiwan, about 82 degrees. To have that invest area just off to your east here, something we watch, but not looking at too much development with that. And even up in Seoul, right around 81 degrees. So good news overall. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Let's go down to Manila here and see what they got reporting down there. Probably temperatures right around the 80 to 90 degrees, and right around high 80s, 88 degrees. And far the Philippines right around 85 degrees. And up near Hong Kong, about 9 degrees, partly cloudy skies. So really fair weather overall in the entire western Pacific. Got the high pressure dominating. Only exceptions is this invest area here and the tropical storm up in the area. A little too far into the summer for any latitude storms to dig down far south. So good news overall. Once we get this past us, looks like we actually get a break here pretty soon. So that's really good news. Okay, another tool here I want to show you in relation to a Malou or 10 whiskey here. A lot of people like to discount out current observations. They don't really discount out, but I don't believe they use them as enough as they should. Most people just rely on models. But right here, this is a really good tool to use. It's a sail weather info. It's basically showing a lot of ship observations, a few land stations around the entire area here, and this is you can use this worldwide. And what I'm getting out of this is that the wind swath with the storm is not really wide. Max of 34 knots at the southern end here, where that great deal of outflow is, but 27 knots near that. You can actually see the entire circulation with the storm. But as far as a jet bill, the storm is only actually located about 60 miles to the south right now, and they're only reporting about 23 knots of wind, only 4 knots up in Busan, which is really showing me that this storm is not expanding out very far. As far as far south though, 25 knots. This is due to a tighter gradient actually with the system interacting with the Westpac high as well. So as far as storms out in over in open water, I highly suggest using this tool. You can use this anywhere worldwide. Sealweather.info. Okay, and back to a satellite picture here. Basically, just continue showing this tropical storm along the southern end of the Korean Peninsula there. Good luck for everybody today, though. Just stay safe, stay dry, and as far as over Japan here, actually going to start to see some precipitation on the 8th and 9th. Already noted out of the system, so a little bit of break into our dry spell over here, and a little relief to the heat as well. So overall, everybody out in the Western Pacific, have a great Labor Day today, and have a great Labor Day weekend overall, and same to you back in the States. All right, thanks.